this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill
Wait
no
a
one.
second.
Oh, no.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching SeptumSin versus the world. I'm SeptumSin. This is Kotobuki Jake.
Hey?
That, not. And some people go both ways. Any case, we're going to show you what we got.
Right.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
Some of it, anyway.
Well, yeah, we got a lot of holiday stuff. It piles up over the deals and stuff like that. But then again, I look at it as like, a squirrel hoarding nuts, because once the winter hits, and in January it's going to be a very dry season, so I'm going to be living off of these nuts for a good while, because I don't plan on making any major purchases from January until June, unless I think it's going to go out of print. So.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'll be able to do that. Well, I'll probably have to.
So with that being said, I'll go ahead and lead us off.
Okay.
And let's see. There we go. So I'm going to show you all. I did decorating. You can see Grumpy Cat in the background, but I also have Haposai sitting in a nice little holiday basket.
What the hell?
So you can see I do have the tree up in the background there. So I'm all nice and prepared. And under the tree are all of the gets that I have presented on this channel from the holiday season so far.
So
So we're going to start with one that I have as a release from a special company, and see, look at what they gave me.
Oh,
Isn't that pretty?
yeah.
But that's not exactly what I'm presenting. I managed to finally get a hold of the Midsummer Director's Cut.
Nice.
Yes. This is a A24 release. It is still in print and available. This is the second run of this. And they do run out quickly. They're about
Is this that super swanky set?
Yes. And you can get it on Blu-ray if you don't have a 4K player. So think about that. But it is 45, and it is an extra long cut of the film.
It's a half-hour extra, right?
Yeah. So
And that was a long-ass movie to start with. I want to say it was like 2.5 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, I will be reviewing this on the channel later to see how it looks. I don't typically review these, but this is one that bears reviewing.
I want you to tell me if that extra half hour is good or bad.
So the material it's made of is very similar to the Princess Bride special edition, if you understand what I'm talking about. You know how that kind of has that like book feel?
Yeah.
So this, of course, slides out, and you have the artwork on here. And of course, you got the burning bear on here. So let's open this up. And of course, it opens up as a book, which you can see the binding in here.
Yeah.
And you've got the disc right here. And all of the various artworks are presented therein. Some very interesting release notes here. So it is something that if you are a huge fan of these films, I know I am, I'm not sure whether I necessarily need an extra half hour to Midsummer, but I really want to make sure I got the best edition, and this supposedly is.
What a cool looking set.
It is a very cool looking set. I don't know if it would fit on a shelf.
Not,
No, barely not. No.
may have to
Wait,
put it
wait.
with your NIS.
There you go.
There you go.
There we go. That shelf maybe. So there'll probably be one that'll be standing somewhere in my collection to be seen. So I look forward to checking this out when probably in January when I'm kind of feeling that like feeling anyway.
Good time for a midsummer movie, isn't it? You know, make you feel all warm and cheerful and
Exactly. You see, maybe when you're hoping for spring, you know, I can just pop this in.
yeah, seriously though, I may have to take a look at that. I want that set, but I saw the movie and it was long enough as it was. I see no need for another half hour, but I did like it. I was impressed by it.
Well, you know, it is available for purchase still.
Mm-hmm.
It is it's available on Blu-ray. As like I say, you can order it on Blu-ray, which you know would be there. But if you ever want to come over and just like feel it,
yes, I would come over just to touch it.
you're welcome to do so. But yeah, that's my big pickup.
Nice. This one's not. This one's a $5 upgrade. Although, granted, it's a movie that I paid more for than almost. It was one of the more expensive DVDs because when I got it, it was still not widely available, but it has become so. I went to Best Buy. I have two mini themes here. Both of these are actually 2 to 3 months back, I think. And I'm pretty sure I assembled the one correctly. My memory's a little hazy at this point. I basically went to Best Buy for 2 titles and picked up 2 more while I was there. This is a film that is one of the early films that got me into foreign cinema. It is probably one of the first German films I ever saw. And this was like during my big critic phase that I went through in college. And this was an acclaimed film just before then. And I remembered its acclaim and sought it out. And it's a film I've always enjoyed very much. And it's called Lola Rent or Run Lola Run.
Oh.
And this is a very short film. Very short. It runs 80 minutes. And most of it runs in real time. Basically, Lola is a kind of lower class youngster in Germany whose boyfriend gets in deep with the wrong people and needs a lot of money stat. And she has 20 minutes to hook him up or he's in trouble. And so the movie runs in 3 20-minute segments with a little bit of wraparound on either end. And it's probably one of the better action movies I've ever seen and one of the more creative films. It's a Tom Tykwer film that has a really nice Euro techno soundtrack, very gritty look to it. I'm sure the Blu-ray will probably play that up significantly. Hopefully it's a good transfer, but we'll find out. Unfortunately it does have some special features. There's a music video and a commentary with Tykwer and Franco Potente, the star of the film. I enjoyed this a lot. I've always enjoyed it. Like I said, I've had it on DVD for years, and I found it on Blu-ray for $5. I was like, it's time for an upgrade.
Okay. Sounds like fun. I actually like it. No, I've seen it. I saw it. I've got it somewhere. It's in my collection there. So, you know, I think I have it on DVD, though. I could be wrong. Let's see. So this next one is one I went to the Dollar Tree. There's going to be a mix of some Dollar Tree stuff in here. And I saw this and I was like, oh, this is kind of a cool thing. They're offering almost all of these separate, but they have them all in one. So instead of paying $4, I pay $1. Called Don't Go Into the House Alone, 4 horror movies. I got it mainly for the movie Abattoir, which is a pretty cool one. I've seen it on streaming. It's about this person who is buying up rooms where these horrific murders and stuff took place, and he actually removes the rooms and he builds it onto his own like weird like combined house. And it is a very intriguing horror film. I've seen it twice. I enjoy it. I'm kind of glad now that I have it on physical media. There's also one called The Institute, which also is pretty cool. I have seen that one. It was also kind of fun. Intruders, which I accidentally picked a DVD copy up of. I don't know if you would really want it. You're welcome to my DVD copy of Intruders if you want, but I doubt you'd want it. It's like basically Anna suffers from agoraphobia so crippling that when a trio of criminals break into her house, she cannot bring herself to flee. But the intruders don't realize is that agoraphobia is not her only psychosis.
Nice.
Then there's Jack Goes Home. So all 4 of these fairly recent horror films. Not bad horror films. At least 2 of them I know were pretty decent. So I am looking forward to just digging into this. This will be fun.
Good times.
I think so anyway.
Kind of disappointed you split up your haul. I was thinking it'd be fun to just do like this massive Dollar Tree thing, but
because I've got like 2 different Dollar Tree hauls from the past month. That would be like an over an hour long video.
we had I made a Dollar Tree trip the other day, and I was like, "What's a haul?" But none of those will be presented tonight. The next one is the other one I picked up randomly when I got there. No, but not too random because it was one I wanted. I just didn't realize it was out yet. And it's a film by Keiichi Hara called The Wonderland, which is a pretty cool looking film. It's a Shout Factory release. On the day before her birthday, young Akane meets the mysterious alchemist Hippocrates, who brings her through a basement and into a fantastical world full of magic and color. Though things seem peaceful on the surface, he reveals this world is in danger, and as the destined goddess of the green wind, it is Akane's responsibility to bring back the rain and save this world from the terror known as Zangu, etc., etc., but Akane just wants to go home. My guess is that this is yet another adaptation of Alice in Wonderland. That's the impression I've gotten. But it's gotten decent reviews. Anything dealing with Alice in Wonderland, I usually give it at least a little bit of curiosity. It looks interesting. The artwork looks pretty decent. I am not super familiar with Keiichi Hara, but I at least know the name, and I think I've seen some of his stuff. And I was like, I gotta give that a try.
Gotta be better than Miyuki-chan in Wonderland, which was the Clamp adaptation. That took on more of an adult feel of.
You think?
But it was interesting.
Yeah.
So still. It is what it is. All right. Just looking up, I was like, oh, well. The other part of my Right Stuff package has been sitting in D.C. forever. That's kind of a sad thing.
That's no fun.
So let's see here. Looking over here at something I've been trying my best to thin out my collection a little bit, or at least kind of slim down. So I found these, and we talked about these kind of 10 movie collections that have been released, but they're usually extremely expensive. Amazon put it on sale for like $30, one of these. And then I saw somebody having it used for $25.
Oh.
So I've been rewatching it all because they come with all the special features and mini films. And that is the Illumination 10 movie collection.
Nice.
Now, if this one actually wasn't, if it was just basically the movies, I probably wouldn't have gotten it. But since it comes with all the special features and all of like the short films
Yeah.
that were in these, it was well worth the purchase. Because let's show the space it saves.
And you didn't even have all of them, did you?
Nope, I did not have 2 of the films.
Yeah.
I did not have Sing or The Grinch. And I wanted Sing. I did not want The Grinch, but I've got it now.
Hey, The Grinch was fun.
It was okay.
It was fun.
I like the
But it
Jim
wasn't
Carrey one
great.
better than this one, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
But it also comes with Despicable Me 1, 2, and 3, The Minions, Secret Life of Pets 1 and 2, The Lorax, and Hop. Hop is a guilty pleasure, definitely. Was a former friend, a friend that passed of ours. It was one of his favorite films around this time. Or not this time, around Easter. Matter of fact, he's the one who had me go to theaters to see it.
I could see him watching it for Christmas.
So there's a slight difference because the DVDs have a solid instead of this for the Blu-rays, for the actual regular singular releases. But I have checked it out. Everything checks out. That's why it took me a minute. I was watching all of these, so I watched all of these films over again. The only ones I had not seen before were Despicable Me 3, The Grinch, and Sing. And I kind of liked Sing and Despicable Me 3. The Grinch was okay. I'll give it okay.
Yeah, okay. All right. We got another animated movie coming up. These, I'm almost sure. I know these two were kind of impulse buys with 2 that I went to pick up that had been ordered. And I'm almost certain that I put the right 2 aside. But anyway, they're both Steelbook movies. I don't order Steelbook movies near as aggressively as that one does, but I still like to get them when I get a good deal, and this one was a good deal. I think it was like $7 or $8, which is not bad for a Steelbook. And that is the Lego Ninjago movie. This was a fun movie. I enjoyed it a lot. It actually took a lot of willpower not to pick up Lego Movie Part 2. They had this Steelbook on Black Friday for like $6, which again for a Steelbook is good. But I just bought the Lego Movie Part 2, and I'm like, I'll make do with what I've got. But this one, though, it does have mini movies. It has music videos, but most importantly, it has the movie. It was a fun movie. There's a wonderful use of a feline in this movie. It's fun. I had doubts going into it because I know the Ninjago kids movies are like huge right now for Lego. But this turned out to actually be well worth a watch. And like I said, when I saw the price, I was like, yeah, I'd do it.
I've heard that there is a definite out of the 4 of those movies, they're basically I've not seen that one. It's the only one of the 4 I haven't seen. But I've heard basically out of what you get, those are the ones that really have that kind of take on it. The others are more kiddie based.
Yeah. The 4 theatrical releases are a whole different creature.
Yeah.
I would imagine from the hundreds of other programs.
And Lego Batman's the only one of those I have on Steelbook, so I
don't think I have that one yet. It's the one I'm missing, I think.
Oh, good. Since even though we're running a little bit late, it's going to work because Mo was watching the last Kino episode while we are talking. So hey, that works.
Yeah. Well, you gotta get plenty of time. I'm still anyway.
Well, hey, we'll have somebody else on here other than us.
I know. And
So,
if y'all haven't tuned in yet, tune into our discussion this week on Kino's Journey. Awesome show.
we had that on Monday, and I'm probably going to re-outfit it and repost it Tuesday, so you'll be able to actually see it with our opener and ender on intact on it, and a nice little like what do I call it? Thumbnail.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead with another dollar store purchase.
Nice.
I'm just kind of hitting these alphabetical, which is how we do, and how it's basically it's going to be in my collection, except for Midsummer because that had to stand out.
Yeah.
It kind of stands out. It doesn't really sit on the shelf with the others that I got for presentation. But this is a double feature. Again, I always put these compilation ones. I've gotten to where right now I put these ahead of everything else. And this is one with Losers and Rock and Rolla, which is where Dark Castle Pictures started getting away from horror and moving towards other types of film. I'm not exactly sure whether I've been only mildly interested in it, but $1 is enough for mild interest to go. So I mean, that's really.
And Rock and Roll is a Guy Ritchie film, so that's at least got a little bit of curiosity value.
A little bit of that up in there.
Yep. Okay, and the next one. This is probably the biggest one of the bunch. I know you have the complete collection, but I'm slowly building a decent collection of this. One of the more visually impressive films of the DCEU, which is fairly appropriate since this is a 4K. Oh, wait a minute. Shoot. Wait, no, it says there's a Blu-ray option. I hope there's a Blu-ray option.
Usually they do.
There's a digital option at least.
I mean, unless you're watching this weird copy of Midsummer, there's usually a multiple, like, you know.
But at any rate, I got the Steelbook edition of Aquaman. Which again, this one definitely is worthy of watching in high def. It's a nice looking edition. I think you probably got the nicer looking editions of most of these, but some of them were not changed in their appearance. I don't know. Is this the one you have?
I don't think I have that. I know I have a Steelbook, but I don't know.
I know they have a Justice League right now for sale that looks nothing like the cool edition you've got, but at any rate, had to get it. They had it for a really good price. I can't remember. It was like 10 or 11 or something. And I was like, okay. I just hope I can play it.
Let me see here. It says 4K Ultra. Does it say on the back?
It says on the back Ultra HD Blu-ray.
Well, I mean, the only way to really do it is to open it up and then check and see if it's got multiple discs in there.
Yeah, I may have to use the digital for this one until I get a 4K player, but whatever.
Well, that's one thing that they have been doing. I will say this. If you wait until next year, 4K TVs, because 8K TVs are going to be the big thing next year, 4K TVs are going to be like amazingly cheap. They're already pretty cheap.
8K,
yeah, 8K is the next thing.
Dave's going to be all about that, huh?
I can guarantee you that it's going to be a while before I even think about 8K. The only reason why I got the 4K is because the TV I had downstairs crapped out. I was like, well, that's probably how it's going to be. It's like one of the TVs will die, and it'll be what's available at the time. Speaking of what's available at the time. Again, on Black Friday sale, How to Train Your Dragon collection here went on sale for $15. And again, all 3 movies, all the special features. It's mainly a space saver. That's the whole. These are excellent films. Well worth the money. I'll probably make my money back in January when I start selling off these collections. Because I am planning on doing it. I just not going to do it during the time when everything else is on sale.
Right.
That makes no sense. So probably around January, I'm going to start doing some eBaying.
Yeah.
And selling a lot of. I got like a whole bunch of stuff I'm going to be selling, so that's going to be there. But these are awesome movies.
Oh yeah.
these are worth having. I'm kind of glad because I had one of them, I think, on DVD, and then one of them on 4K, and one of them on Blu-ray. So this at least standardizes.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay. So, my other mini theme, I made a. Well, actually, it's kind of funny. If this turns out to be unplayable on my Blu-ray player, then I put that in as a nice segue to my next theme,
I might trade you my copy if you want.
I decided to check into a company that we've talked about on this channel that I've been eyeing for a while, and they did a big October Halloween-ish sale. I want to say there were two companies that did a so-called Shocktober sale, and this was one of them, I think. But I did an order directly from Arrow, and I thought I would test your frequent assertion that most of their films will still play here. And no, most of them will not, based on what I've seen, but some of them do. So I'm going to present the order, and I'll tell you which ones worked. But they're all ones that I'm intrigued about, and I will have to get an all regions player. It's going to happen. The first one, based on what I know of it, looks like one that you guys would probably enjoy in the movie group. We'll find out eventually, where we may find out eventually. And it's a film from director Shinya Tsukamoto called Kotoko.
Oh.
And it's from their Third Window Films imprint, which they apparently do a lot of like random Asian stuff and whatever on Third Window. But basically, Tsukamoto, the cult director of the cyberpunk Tetsuo series, presents an unnerving film about mental instability. Kotoko, who's played by singer-songwriter Coco, a young single mother, lives alone with her baby son, suffering from an unknown illness that makes her see double, especially people, and not knowing which version of the person is real. It severely impacts her day-to-day life, often leading her to lash out violently. As her situation worsens and she becomes a liability, her son is taken from her and put in the care of her sister. Kotoko is left alone with her own thoughts, and for a person with an already broken mind, that is a very scary place indeed. And this one company, this one website called it the most horrifying film of 2012. But I know with your obsession with mental illness, you would probably really be intrigued by that. I really want to see this, but I can't watch it on my player. But I got it, so one day.
Well, again, I don't know what to say on that one. I mean, all the ones I have are direct Arrow releases, so I don't know. All the ones that I got directly from Arrow that say Region B do work on my player. And, of course, Mo also talked to me about, like, that those are direct Arrow. That's, like, one of their subsidiaries, so...
Well, it was through Arrow that I got it, but, the others are all Arrow, so
there we go.
Yeah.
So we'll move on from there. I will say, though, that the Gamera set, at least, the UK Gamera set does work on.
That's good. That's good.
Because Mo did find that out for us.
Yes.
So let's see. Well, I went to the Dollar Tree, as you know, and I've had this film 2 Days in Paris for a long time, but it has a sequel. But I've not been motivated to get the sequel until recently when I saw it for $1, which was 2 Days in New York.
I thought that was the sequel. I wasn't sure.
Which, you got Julie Delpy and Chris Rock, which, they're well known. It's supposed to be a fairly good romance. 2 Days in Paris was a good romance. I'm kind of glad to go ahead and finally knock this out. I just was like, do I want to pay $10 for it? No. Do I want to pay $7 for it? No. But I never really saw it below $7, so I was like, do I want to pay $1 for it? Yeah, I'll do that. So that's all I can say.
All right. Now, this one I would have loved to give for $1, especially because it also does not play multiplayer.
Dope.
But it's one I was eyeing for a while because it's 3 films that are uncommon in this country. One of them, I think there's a DVD only release. It may be Blu-ray that was very rare and hard to get. I can't remember. One of them I think has a DVD only release, and one of them I don't think has an American release. But it's one of my favorite directors, Hirokazu Koreeda, and it's a collection called Family Values.
Ooh,
and it features I Wish, which I think may be unreleased in this country, Like Father, Like Son, which is a very famous film he did, and After the Storm, which I have actually seen. And After the Storm is a very good movie. It was one of my favorite films of that year, and that's the main reason I had to pull the trigger on this eventually. It's partially misnamed, though, because the titular storm of the film doesn't show up until near the end. But it's basically a family drama with a typhoon bearing down on the various individuals involved. It's an excellent film. I have heard Like Father, Like Son is an excellent film. All of these, Koreeda is a phenomenal director. This is an edition that looks like something out of the Criterion Collection. I mean, all the special edition, there's some good bonus features there. And I'm waiting for Criterion to pick up these titles. But I was like, this is a worthwhile one. And this is an Arrow Academy, so it is an official Arrow release. But yes, one day I'll get to watch this. But I've got it, and I'm very happy to have it because these are some cool films. Well,
Again, it's more reason to save up for Region B.
Yeah.
Actually, there's other films that are definite reasons because some films just don't get a U.S. release.
Well, I got a big one coming up, although this one did get American releases, but the set's so nice.
So this is another one that I'm sure you got as well, because obviously whenever you hear the name Eli Roth, it just makes you go, "Oh, I've got to have it." But I went ahead and I got this also Dollar Tree. My last Dollar Tree of this particular pickup, and that is the film Aftershock. Again, this looks interesting. In the middle of the night, while partying, a hapless American tourist and his friends are suddenly plunged into a living hell when a powerful earthquake rips through the coastal town of Valparaiso, Chile. A lot of Eli Roth stuff I've gotten to enjoy. I'm not sure Hostel is something or actually Hostel and Cabin Fever are not two sellers for that. but I have enjoyed a lot of the other stuff, so I was willing to pick it up for $1. I do need to get the last Hostel film. It's just I just don't want to pay a lot for it because I didn't really care for the other two. If I see that in the Dollar Tree, I would pick it up.
Okay. Now from there, we get a little bit of the old ultraviolence, but more my kind. This is a nice looking set, and this is one of the reasons that I moved on this order. Again, I'll have to be patient, get that player, but at least I have the set in the meantime. And I know you have all these films, but I'm quite sure you did not have the Arrow release of these films. And this is a famed trilogy of films by Park Chan-wook. We had two Japanese directors. Now we're moving over to Korea. Park Chan-wook's Vengeance trilogy, which features Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, Old Boy and Sympathy for Lady Vengeance. And it's got this really nice art box, really cool
Damn,
looking.
that's beautiful.
The individual sets are a little different, but there's Mr. Vengeance, Old Boy, and Lady Vengeance. Unfortunately, never got a chance to see this. You were supposed to show it to me, and you never did. I did see it. You showed me that one. That one was good, but I wasn't blown away by it.
It's my least favorite of the
Old
trilogy.
Boy's a classic. That is a great film, and I do own this already, so I'm upgrading this one. Also, along with Chan-wook's Thirst, the two films I already had have been upgraded now. But I guess I might as well sit on Old Boy for now until I get that player. But like I said, that is a nice looking set. That's going to look really cool on the shelf. I really do want to see Lady Vengeance and finish it off. It's more of a thematic trilogy than a proper trilogy. But many people are familiar with Old Boy. I think a fair number know the rest at this point, but very cool, worth a look. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that one doesn't play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think that region locking is stupid in a lot of cases anyway.
Yeah.
But still, that is an amazing looking set.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of amazing looking sets, I don't have one. But I do have
No, you did, but you've already done it.
that does complete
Mm-hmm.
what I've got, which is Arrow Season 8. I would have preferred this on the DVD, but they wanted 20 for the DVD. I'm like, no. 10 for the Blu-ray? Okay. So this finishes up Arrow because they decided to end it at Season 8. And as I am now back in monetarily to the Arrowverse, I will be catching up quite shortly. There's a lot of deals that have helped me on that, thanks to Cyber Monday. Only one series cost me more than what I wanted to pay for it. So, but that's a lot. It is a huge investment to get into.
Yeah.
And y'all will find this out as we move on because you'll see more of this as examples. But I am glad to finally finish this.
Right.
One less.
Okay. Now this one was not a big. It was probably comparable in price because I think the Arrow price was £7.50, something like that. You'll be happy to know, and I'm certainly happy to know that I had a 25% success rate. One of the four worked. And this was one that we actually covered on this channel not too long ago. It is a recent release. And it's one that I was very excited to see get a special edition release. I really want to see it. It's a Robert Altman film that I've never seen before called Kansas City, which, of course, features Jennifer Jason Leigh, Miranda Richardson, Harry Belafonte, Dermot Mulroney, Steve Buscemi, Jane Addams, and some other folks. I am a big fan of Robert Altman. He does some really good stuff. Few directors have been more skilled at shuffling huge casts. And this is supposed to be, I want to say this is supposed to be like an old school film noir, basically. So I'd love to see Altman do film noir. I think that sounds really intriguing. He dabbled it with The Player and a couple other movies, but this one looks like it's a little more straight up. It was a Cannes nominee for Palme d'Or. A little surprised this doesn't have a Criterion release yet, but this is a pretty darn good replacement for that.
I was going to say, that's close to it.
Yeah. Like I said, it's pretty good special features. But this one actually did play. So I'm going to actually, since I opened all these to test them, this one will be prioritized. This one and Cinema Paradiso is the other one so far that worked. But that one said Region A. It was supposed to work because that was an American release. I'm going to try and prioritize watching those two soon to get them, filed away properly. But yeah, we got one success.
Well, you never know. And once you get that region free player, you're going to have one heck of a cool vengeance strategy to play on that.
I know. It's going to be good.
And I will say I've been pricing. Well, I don't know why I'm pricing them. I have one, but they don't go too bad. It's around 100, 120 now
For what?
for a region free Blu-ray.
Yeah.
If
Is
you were
it?
looking for DVD, they're cheap, but Blu-ray.
I don't think I've found any that were that cheap.
I mean, yeah, I was just looking on eBay, and of course, it could be because it's Cyber Monday, but
it could be.
yeah, like one here, LG 115, 158, 129, 82, 66. So, I mean, they are definitely worth saving up for. I can think of at least 2 films in my collection that I could not get a region free or a region 1 copy of the film. So I'm glad to have it.
Right.
So with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this. Click that like button. Of course, hit that subscribe. Do you have a region free player? And
You
what
keep
film...
on to say region flea player.
Those fleas, they get played no matter where they go.
Exactly.
But do you have one, and what do you play on it? But we're going to go ahead and try and transition over to our next discussion, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right.